everyone, this is Amy or LittleSurprisesYT. I'm going to try to introduce myself more often in my videos, but today I'm going to do a review on ArtResin, and some of you guys have probably already seen a video similar to this because Crafter's Delight, who we all know as the resin master, she already did a review for this brand. I was also contacted by ArtResin actually coincidentally a few days after I had seen her video, and they also wanted me to do a review, so that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm gonna put all of the details about this resin, including shipping, price, the website, and all that other stuff towards the end of the video. What I'm gonna do for the beginning is actually show you how mixing is and how the procedure of working with this resin is, and then talk about all the pros and cons towards the end again as well. If you don't want to watch the entire video for whatever reason or want to skip around, I will put timestamps down below, and I will also put in the description box a written message of what I feel about this resin and such. Alright, so I'm gonna get started. So as you can see, this is part A resin and part B hardener, and these stickers are, I think, self-printed. And you can read here, it's a thick clear coat, high gloss finish, easy 1-to-1 mixing ratio, just like EasyCast. And EasyCast is the other brand of resin that I use. I used to use Environtex, I think I'm saying that right, Environtex, but I don't use that one anymore. Yellowing protection and increases the attractiveness and value of your art. So the first thing I do notice is that the hardener is a lot less yellow than my EasyCast. It's a little hard to see on camera, but this is my EasyCast, and it is a little darker in yellow than the ArtResin, so that's what I just see before even using the product. And I know that Crafter's Delight already talked about this. I actually didn't really know what this meant till I watched her video, but this says no VOCs, and I'm going to put on the screen what that means. So I've already added in the 2 parts of resin, and I'm going to start mixing it. I'm try to zoom in so you can see that. Just like EasyCast or any other 2-part resin, it is getting cloudy at first. As you can see, I'm really bad at mixing resin. There is a lot of bubbles. I'm always really bad at mixing slowly, even when I do, there's a lot of bubbles. So what I usually like to do is after I finish mixing the resin, I just let it sit on the table for about 4 to 5 minutes to let all the bubbles rise to the surface. I just smelled the resin, and this is gonna sound a little weird, but it kind of smells like a squishy to me. So if you guys have ever had any of the Hello Kitty donut squishies or purchased any of those, Nick squishies, this kind of smells like that. So it doesn't smell like EasyCast or Environtex. It does have its own unique kind of smell. It's not bad. It doesn't irritate my nose, so I thought I would just mention that. And as always, you should always be wearing gloves. I always take precaution with gloves now, especially because I think a year or 2 ago, I got an allergic reaction to 10-minute resin. So yes, always be careful and wear gloves. I'm actually making some creations right now, so I do have another batch of resin here, and this one is the EasyCast, and then this one is the ArtResin. So noticeably, from the video, you can see that the EasyCast is more yellow than the ArtResin. Another thing that I noticed is that the EasyCast is a little more liquid, whereas the ArtResin seems a little thicker. It's not thicker by a lot, but I thought maybe that was important to some crafters. So I've let the resin sit for about 5 minutes now, and as you can see, a lot of the bubbles already came to the surface. So there is a lot of the bubbles right there, and then the middle is very clear. It's actually clearer than the EasyCast. I'm going to do another pour with pink, but I added in some yellow resin because I am making a yellow creation. And this is actually, I feel, not a lot thicker, but it definitely feels more syrupy than my EasyCast. But then again, it could also have to do with the humidity in New York right now, which it's been so bad, and it's also been so hot that my resin cures so quickly. So I don't know if that has anything to do with this ArtResin, but I do feel that this is thicker than my EasyCast. Okay, so I have the pieces ready, and I'm going to show you the clear piece first. Here are the 2 clear pieces, and from a glance, there really is no difference. But if I were to bring up the pieces up to a window, you can see that this side, which is the EasyCast, there are a few more bubbles, and it is a little yellower, so just like that. And this is the ArtResin, and you can see that it is not as yellow as the EasyCast. Now based on clarity, I feel like if you can see from the pieces, this is a little more clear, the art resin, and the EasyCast, it's not like blurry or foggy at all. They're both pretty clear in my opinion. So that's pretty much the difference between the clears. And again, it's a little hard to see on camera, but there are little micro bubbles as you can see in the EasyCast. There it is. And then here is the art resin, which doesn't have as many bubbles or any that I see. Next, I'm going to show you the colored pieces. So I'm going to start with the yellow ones, and I am actually happily surprised. So here are the two chubbles that I made with the resin, and on this side is the EasyCast, and on this side is the art resin. And I gotta say, the glitter dispersed a lot better in the art resin than the EasyCast. So as you can see for the EasyCast, a lot of it sank to the top of the head, whereas for the art resin it's a little more dispersed. Please keep in mind that neither of these pieces are glazed or decorated yet, so it looks a little funny. And I think the reason this happened where it dispersed a lot nicer in the art resin is, if you guys remember, I mentioned that the art resin is thicker, so the glitter or tinsels most likely kind of sat well in the resin. Now I also have a pink one that I made, and it's interesting because I thought I used the same amount of pigment, but if you notice, there is a darker shade of pink for the art resin than there is for the EasyCast. Now I'm not sure if it's because the art resin is better equipped with resin pigments, or if maybe I just added a little more red into this one than this one. And as you can see, again, the EasyCast seemed to have more weird bubbles in places. So like that little bubble right under the snout, that's not supposed to be there, and the ones on the ears, there is no other bubbles. So now I'm going to talk a little bit about shipment, how long it took, and a little bit of the pros and cons. So I actually got this package about 3 days after Art Resin had contacted me, and it shipped via FedEx. So what that means is when the package arrives, you have to sign for it, which it was really nice because I feel like I know that the resin will get here safely. And another thing about shipment was that it came in a box with some of those bubble fillers. It's not bubble wrap, it's just like those giant pouch of air. A few pros I'm going to talk about now. As you've already seen and I've already mentioned, there's not that many bubbles when mixing, and there is very little yellowing. So I think that's really cool. And I am actually on the Art Resin website right now, and one of the top questions that people ask is if Art Resin is safe. And it is a safer option according to Art Resin because there are no fumes, and as I've mentioned, the smell is actually kind of like squishy like. I don't smell, it's not very chemically in my opinion. There are no VOCs. I would also like to mention, they do also talk about putting resin on fabric and then comparing it with other varnishes like Mod Podge. And also, I thought this was really interesting. They also teach you how to use the art resin, which is really nice because I feel like a lot of us learned how to use resin through YouTube, but from artresin.com, they actually talk to you about how to use it, which is really nice. Another pro with Art Resin is that it is free shipping within USA and Canada, which is awesome because other than Amazon or maybe the occasional Joann's or Michael's coupon, if you wanted to buy like larger quantities of resin, it does cost a bit to ship. Another pro is that these come in really large sizes. So the ones I have here are 4 ounces, but I don't think they Art Resin sell this just as 4 ounces. They actually have 32 ounce starter kits, gallon, 2 gallons, and I think I saw a 10-gallon one as well. Let me just see. Yeah, it's right there. And they also have 80 gallons. So this is obviously meant for larger projects. They can be used for smaller projects like the 32 ounce ones. Now, some of the cons that I did notice, and this may or may not be a con to some of you guys, but it was a little thicker, and for me, that is a little bit of a problem because I like to mix really fast, and the more liquidy it is, the easier it is for me to pop out the bubbles. So that's the only con for me that I am aware of when using this product. Now, this does go into the con now when it comes to purchasing art resin. In my opinion, because a lot of my viewers are younger or aren't making money, a lot of the things that is appealing to DIY crafters is the price of the product. And I can mention, and I should mention, since this is a very honest review, it is a little on the pricier side. So as you can see, for a 32-ounce starter kit, it's $49. Now, an EasyCast that is 32 ounces is about $36 on Amazon. In stores like Michael's, AC Moore, you can probably find it for about $40, but with the 40% or 50% off coupon, you can get it between $20 to $25. But this is just an estimate because I only own a gallon of resin now, so I don't know the exact prices. As you can see, a 1 gallon of art resin is about $120. Compared to EasyCast, it is about $74 on a good day on Amazon, but it can go up to about $110. So the prices for a gallon is pretty much the same. But as mentioned, even though the price is a little high, you do have the possibility of purchasing larger quantities. So if you ever did need 80 gallons, it is pricey, but just to let you know, there is the option to get that much. So yes, I think the biggest con about this is probably the price. All in all, I felt really comfortable using art resin. I didn't really have any major problems with it. And other than the price, I think that it's really awesome that there's not that many bubbles, no yellowing, there's great selection of sizes, and it's free shipping. So if you guys did want to try it out, I definitely recommend it. I'm gonna see if there are any coupons or any sales ongoing for art resin at the moment. But if there isn't, I do apologize, but I do hope that you guys enjoyed this review for art resin. Don't forget to check down in the description box below for more information, and if you want to watch other art resin reviews, I'm going to link down below the art resin website as well as Crafter's Delights video, as I've mentioned earlier in the video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye!